Okay, we're learning Parak Ches. We started learning about the Kruvim, and then we moved to the Sugya of the Machlekes, what seems to be a Machlekes Rabbi Shmuel and Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. And then we didn't learn yet, but at the end of Parak Ches, very exciting, where Reb Chaim Volozhin brings the two Sugyas together. And the common denominator between them is that kan kisha oisin ritzono shemakim, kan kisha ein oisin ritzono shemakim. Meaning, to say the end before we get to it, is that the kruvim are facing each other when oisin ritzono shemakim, and when it's oisin ritzono shemakim, you can do like Rabbi Shmuel, like Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, and not work, until you're oisin ritzono shemakim. So hanig bahen minig derech eretz. So I want to explain to you something I think is very deep here today. Very simple and very deep at the same time. He brings the Gemara. Let's just let the Gemara get inside. Tana Rabbanan, so we have the Lashon clear in our minds. Tana Rabbanan v'yasafta digonecho. We say in Kriya Shema every day. V'yasafta digonecha. What's the pshat? Says the Gemara. Lefi Shenamar. It says in Yeshua Aleph Layamush Sefer Ataris Amipicha. It says that Hashem said to Yoshua when he came into Eretz Yisrael, Layamush Sefer Ataris Amipicha. So Yachol Dvar Kichsavan. I would think that I need to take that literally, right? I just can't, just like a kohen gadol, not allowed to go out of the kohen, not allowed to go out of the Makom HaMikdash with his big day kahuna. So the same thing, a Jew is not allowed to go without Torah for one second. Why shouldn't it be Kichsavan? The answer is because there's another pasuk which is Sefer, and the other pasuk is V'asafta Digonecha. V'asafta Digonecha v'siroshcha v'yitzarecha. So it says clearly that you will gather your crop, and you will harvest, and you will plant, and you will do all those things. So what's the pshara between the two psukim? The pshara is how you miyashiv these two psukim. The way you're miyashiv it is hanig bahen minig derech eretz. Hanig bahen minig derech eretz. Lashon of the Gemara. Hanig bahen minig derech eretz. Meaning you have to do v'asafta digonecha. So how do you do it? So hanig bahen minig derech eretz. You have to add a component of derech eretz into the Yamush Sefer HaTorah Zemipicha. I just want to ask a question. Why didn't Hashem speak clearly here? Hashem said, Lo Yamush Sefer HaTorah Zemipicha. Why didn't you just say that when you can, Lo Yamush Sefer HaTorah Zemipicha? Get up early, go to sleep late, take your lunch break. Like why did he Lo Yamush Sefer HaTorah Zemipicha is a very clear directive to always learn Torah. Lo Yamush Sefer HaTorah Zemipicha. It should be in your mouth all the time. Right? That's what it says. So we have to have a drasha over here, Kenish Zayin. So it says V'asafta Digonecha. So the answer is, says the Gemara, it has to be Hanig Bahen Minig Derech Eretz. That's Rabbi Shmuel. Comes Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, and he says, what do you mean Hanig Bahen Minig Derech Eretz? Efshar Adam Charish B'Shas Charisha, Adam Zareya B'Shas Zriya. What are you talking? A person is going to, when a person is doing Charisha, you're not learning Torah. When you're doing Zriya, you're not learning Torah. So what do you mean Hanig Bahen Minig Derech? Ki'ilu, it's possible to do both things at once. So Rav Shimon Bar Yochai says that no, it means that you should. It means kipshutai. That Lo Yamush Sefer HaTorah Zemipicha means kipshutai. But what then? Ela b'zman she Yisrael oisin ritzonah shel malach b'akaim malachta nasas ha'yidei acherim. If you're doing the ritzonah shel makom, which we have yet to define exactly what that is, I did define it not recently. Define it again. If you're doing the ritzonah shel makom, malachta nasas ha'yidei acherim. Not that there is no malacha, but malachta nasas ha'yidei acherim. You can be makayim v'yasafta digonecha v'siroshcha v'yitzarecha ha'yidei acherim, and that's okay. But, says Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, if you are doing the Ritzonah Shel Makom, B'zman she'ein Yisrael Yisrael Shel Makom, Nasa Yidei Atzman. Shemar v'asafta digonecha. Now, it doesn't mean, I just want to make clear, it doesn't mean v'asafta digonecha is talking about when you're not doing the Ritzonah Shel Makom. V'asafta digonecha, you're going to have to do it yourself, when you're not doing the Ritzonos Shel Mokum. If you're doing the Ritzonos Shel Mokum, it also has to be done. You also have to harvest. You also have to plant. But it's going to be Nasis Ayidei Acher, like the story I told yesterday. Nasis Ayidei Acher. So I just wanted to make clear, it's not, the lumdus here is very important to me, that it's not that there's a machlokes whether you're supposed to work or whether you're not, whether there is a pasuk of Asafta de Genecha, there is not a pasuk, there is a pasuk of Asafta de Genecha. The question is, there's a lot of ways to fulfill that pasuk. One way to fulfill the pasuk is you go out and you harvest. And another way to fulfill the pasuk is Nasas Hayidei Acher. Comes the Gemara and tells us that you might think that, okay, I'm going to take the Reb Shimon Bar Yochai derech because I'm oisem malachton, I'm oisem ritzonos shel makom. So says the Gemara, harbe asu k'Rabbi Reb Shimon Bar Yochai v'lo yalsa biyadam. Very piercing Gemara. Like get your madrega clear. Harbe asu, are you Reb Shimon Bar Yochai that you're doing ritzonos shel makom? Harbe asu k'Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. V'lay also biyadam. Harbe also Rabbi Yishmael v'also biyadam, says the Gemara. So, from a practical level, I guess the madrega is the madrega of Rabbi Yishmael and not the madrega of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
It can also work the other way around, where you're supporting the Torah people who are supporting Torah.
Okay. I pointed out yesterday that this sort of compromise, if you will, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai has been compromising here for him, because he's saying that sometimes you have to do it yourself and sometimes you have to do it through other people. This that he says that it even has to be done at all, even through other people, is a compromise on the part of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. The Haraya, when he came out of the Ma'ara, he didn't like the whole thing that anybody was being Isaac and Charisha and Zriya. That was his complaint, right? So, but when he went back into the Ma'ara, I'm supposing, when he went back into the Mara and he learned the sugya a little bit better from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there he came out that, okay, it depends. For some people it's like this and for some people it's like that. Some people have to do the V'yasafta de Genecha all by themselves, and some people have to do Malachta Nasas Hayidei Acher. Everybody with me? That's the way the sugya here is structured, and it works historically, if you will, with Rabbi Shmuel. And finally he saw that there was an Indian also of V'yasafta de Genecha doing yourself, but it's not for him. And on this, the Gemara says, Harbe Asuk Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Don't think how quickly you're Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. So that's not telling us a halacha that you're not allowed to be like Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. The halacha is don't fool yourself. Harbe Asuk Reb Shimon Bar Yochai v'lo also biyadam is from a practical point of view it may not work. And why isn't it working? If you just sit there and you don't do anything, just learn Torah, why doesn't it work? So the answer is because you're not really Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. That's what it seems to be, but it's not a psak halacha. In the psak halacha itself, so there's a Rambam, and I just want to point this out. The Rambam says, and here you see, I'll just give you this Hagdama because this is going to help us so much with the sugya. I'll learn the Rambam. I want to present to you in the next few minutes some Kabbalah 101, and I want to show you, go back to Brisk and learn the Gallows of the Rambam. Those are the Lashon Rambam. There are two famous Rambams, actually, two famous Rambams. The Rambam says in Hilchos Talmud Torah, Gimel Halacha Ches, very oft-quoted Rambam, that's not so popular these days, says the Rambam, Divrei Torah nimshalu kamayim. Torah is like water. Shenemar kol tzamei l'chul lamayim. Torah is like water. You can't live without water. You can't live without Torah. Loimer l'chama mayim ein miskansin b'makom midroin. Elo nischala me'olav and niskansin b'makom ashbarin. Water gathers into a place. Kach divrei Torah nimsoim begasei haruach. If a person is a balgaiva, the Torah does not rest with you. It's like being a slanted roof. The water just slides right off. V'loi b'leiv kol gava leiv. It doesn't. The Torah does not rest in the heart of a balgaiva. Ela b'daka v'shval ruach. Only in the heart of an onav. Shemisavik ba'afa raglei chachamim. You're always willing to listen to chachamim. That's a big sign of being an onav. U'meiser ha'taivus v'tanugei hazman milibai. He's not interested in self-gratification. Those people are not going to get Torah. It's not going to really get Torah. And then he says, V'oise, it's only resting in a person which is oise melacha b'chol yom. The Torah only lives with a person who's an anav, who's meiser tanugei olam hazeh, and is oise melacha b'chol yom. It's interesting that he brings this up. And he goes to work every day. How much? Mat. Kedei chayim. Goes to work for his pardasa. Going to work for your pardasa means that, really what it means, that most of us don't have this luxury, that you know how much money you need to make to get through your life. And like I was on the Monsey bus once, coming home, and it was early, it was 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I saw actually a cousin of mine coming back. I said, you come back from work so early? He says, no, I leave for the Diamond Exchange on 47th Street. I leave and I know I have to make whatever his number is, $500. And as soon as I make the $500, I get on the bus and I come home. I don't just sit there, make more. Okay, so it's a huge madrega. So but the Rambam puts this in a t'nai. There was a guy in my shul in Monsey who was a day trader. So he told me, calls me once, with this, out of breath. Maybe it was 11 o'clock in the morning. So he said to me, he says, Rabbi, I just made $470,000 this morning. What should I do? So I told him, go home. Just go home. Don't sit there. Go home. So he didn't listen to me, and he ended up with zero. Just listen to me. My financial advice: go home. That's the best thing to do. Real story. So the Rambam adds this piece: "Va'oiseh malacha b'chol yom ma'at kedei chayav." And then he says, "Kol ha'meisim aliba she'asem b'Torah v'lo yasem malacha." Let's say you will decide that I want to be osik b'Torah v'lo yasem malacha v'yispardes minat tzedakah. Let the tzedakah support me, right? Kollel, let the tzedakah support me. I'm not saying anything political here. I'm just reading this Rambam. Harei this person who says I'm not going to work, I'm just going to learn, and let tzedakah support me. So says the Rambam, Harei chilul Hashem, ubiza haTorah, v'chiba ma'or hadas, v'gora amra la'atzmai, v'notal chayav min ha'olam haba.
Wow.
Would you like me to repeat that list?
Wow.
What an unbelievable thing, no? What is he doing already? He's going to Kollel. Harei chilul Hashem, biza haTorah, chiba ma'or hadas, v'gora amra la'atzmai, v'notal chayav min ha'olam haba. He forfeits his portion of the world to come. Those are the Rambam. Why? What's his affair? He's feeling himself as a tzaddik, right? What's the affair? Because he's having hana from Torah. He's learning, and somebody else is supporting him. That's over. Amru Chachamim, says the Rambam, Kol hanena b'divrei Torah noto chayav min ha'olam. Means olam haba. Olam haba, by the way, as I explained many times, doesn't mean olam haba in Shemayim. Olam haba means the world to come after Tchias HaMesim, ultimate tikkun of the world. You are not part of it. You're not part of it. The Avera here is dakastik. He had enough from Divrei Torah. Personal, he did it for personal gain. You don't learn Torah in order to make yourself great. For kavod, like kardan lachber bahan, you shouldn't use it as a shovel to make money. It's not. And further Chazal say, a person should love working, hate Rabbanus.
Wow.
He's pretty strong about this. And what's going to be the end over here, besides for the end of Olam Haba? He's going to end up in jail. In other words, at the end of the day, when you're used to taking, so there's no limit to taking, this is Rabbi Haber, there's no limit to taking, so Harehu Malaste Habrius, he's going to actually be molested in some ways. That's the lashon of the Rambam. So it's pretty clear that the Rambam says, it's not a very popular Rambam, although it's a very well-known Rambam, but it's pretty clear in the Rambam that he doesn't like the Reb Shimon Bar Yochai derech. It seems to be like that's his psak.
And he says that's taking from stock.
Taking from tzedakah. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai took from Hashem, the man, right? Hashem gave him a tree, Hashem gave him water. He didn't take from tzedakah. In fact, he didn't take from tzedakah. He would never take from tzedakah, even when he wasn't in the cave. Okay, problem. There's another Rambam. That's the Rambam in Hilchos Talmud Torah, another very oft-quoted Rambam, a famous Rambam, and that's the Rambam at the end of Shemitah V'Yovel, where he talks about Shevet Levi being supported by the people. So the Rambam, Kol ish v'ish mikol boy olam asher nadva ruchai oisai. Person feels an uplifted spirit. Ve'vinoi midaitoi libadel, and he understands I'm different than everybody else. Lamoid lifnei Hashem l'shorsoi u'la'avdai, and I want my life to be in service of the Lord. U'la'avdai l'dasas Hashem, I want to do my avodas to know Hashem. V'holach yasher k'mo she'aseu elikim u'parak me'al savarei oil ha'cheshbonos haravim asher bikshu b'nei adam. And he takes away all the cheshbonos that everybody in the world makes. Got to make a living, but he takes that away. Now, according to the first Rambam at Hilchos Talmud Torah, this guy is a shegitz. Says the Rambam, Harei Zen, is Kadesh Kodesh Kodshim. He's Kodesh Kadosh. V'yeh Hashem chelkoi v'nachalasei le'olam u'le'omei elamim, and Hashem will be, he's like a Levi. You're allowed to make yourself into a Levi. It's like, my job is to be B'sharis Hashem. V'yeh loy chelkoi v'nachalasei le'olam u'le'omei elamim. V'yizakeh loy ba'olam hazeh davar hamaskik. Loy yizakeh, not yizkeh. We have to give him, that person, davar hamaskik, loy enough. Just like we give to the Kohanim and to the Leviim. Harei David Omer, you see David wasn't a Kohen, and David HaMelech said, Hashem enas chalki v'choisi ata toimech koirali. We have l'chayra, a stira in the Rambam.
He doesn't mention he's taking from tzedakah.
Yes, he does. Yizak eloi ba'olam hazeh.
But
it's his intention. The first Rambam says his intention was to take from stock so he could just sit back and learn. The second Rambam is saying his intention was that he felt he was special to be with Shaar Hashem.
And what's so tell me clearly.
And mainly, you have to give him, but that's, he's not doing it.
So his kavanah is higher.
Kavanah is different.
And this one is
Nagi. Let me teach you a drop of Kabbalah. I'm Malcolm Shiyadi Magas. I don't know it, so I can't explain it. But I'll just tell you a fact. The fact is that the Arizal starts off the Eitz Chaim with the Shaar HaIgulim. What's Igulim? Circles. So, and he explains the following. Let's just understand as much as we can understand. We don't have to be afraid of it. That when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, there was an Or Yashar or Pashat Kav HaYashar. It's called in Kabbalistic terms. Like Kilu from Shemayim to the world was a Kav HaYashar. Like think of it as a ray of light coming down from the Shemayim into this world. And then after that, at the end of that Kav HaYashar, there wasn't really an end because it's infinite. But it's only infinite up. It's not infinite down, if you know what I mean. In other words, it ended, but it started from an infinite place. So I don't know if infinite has to be on both ends or not. Not a mathematician. But it ended with Adam. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu made Igulim. So Igulim are the circles. Circles are the different spheros, the different elamos. So if you look at your standard Kabbalistic chart, it looks like this, right? This is a standard you find this in every Kabbalah sefer. So you have, here's the Kav HaYashar, and then there's these Igulim. The Igulim represent Olam Hazeh. That's all you need to know. The Igulim, life is Igulim. Life is cyclical. There's a life cycle. It goes around, comes around. Right? The life cycle, the calendar is in a cycle, the seasons are in a cycle. If you're doing V'yasavta deganecha, v'siroshcha v'yitzarecha, it's cyclical. Every avocados have their season, and oranges have their season. Everything has a season. In l'chol eis or l'chol zman, it's a circle. It comes, goes, and it comes again. In other words, the season for oranges is over, but it's not over. Just got to wait again until next year. It's cyclical, right? Our life is over. It's not over. We have children, Mir Hashem. So, life is cyclical, but these cyclical spheroids and olamais, that represents the world in which we live in, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created, but it's energized by the Kav HaYashar. Now, here's where the Arizal is very interesting. This is really the point I want to bring. That when HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the Adam, the original kavana was that Adam should be at the end of the Yashar. Meaning, if it's Yashar from Hashem, it's like the man in the midbar. There's no need to do any parnasa work. There's no need to do anything like that. It's Yashar. When Adam did a chet, because the Nachash talked him into doing a chet, so then what happens is he entered into the Igulim. He put himself under the Shlita of Teva. You understand this?
Yeah.
So, says the Arizal brilliantly, that this is the Pshat in Shlomo HaMelech. Shlomo HaMelech said a pasuk in Koheles, Ani asisi es Adam Yashar. The original kavanah of Adam is Yashar. Behema bikshu cheshbonos rabim. They walked into all of these igulim. So we have a sort of a choice to make, or Adam at least had a choice to make, whether he wants to be Yashar. Now, if he would have not gone with the Nachash, he would have been in Gan Eden, and in Gan Eden everything was there for him. There was no klala of b'zeyas apecha toichal lechem. There was no Indian of working the land. There was no Indian of Vasafta de Gonecha. Moshe Rabbeinu Vasafta de Gonecha came much later. It wasn't in Gan Eden. And presumably in the Olam HaTikun it'll be the same thing. So if Adam would have just stayed in Gan Eden Kipshutai without doing the Chet, Ani asisi es Adam Yashar. But comes the Nachash and says, what about this? And you could be like a kid, but you should also be a part of all kinds of cheshbonis. Those cheshbonis are called the Igulin. Behema bikshu cheshbonos rabim. So it's very, the Arizal brilliantly tells us that the pasuk tells us about this transition that Adam, Harishon, and Chava made by making cheshbonos with the Nachash. They put themselves under the Shlita of Teva. Ani asisi es hayad Adam Yashar, behema bikshu cheshbonos rabim. Now back to Brisk. let me just read you this Rambam again. Now I have to tell you something. I've read this Rambam. I don't exaggerate, probably 100 times in my life. Learned the Rambam. Even wrote a little kuntris about it because it's a subject that interests me. And I never noticed the following two words. I'm not talking about diuk of the Rambam. The following words. One more time. Kol ish v'ish mikol baya olam asher nad v'ruchai oisa. A person is inspired. Nad v'ruchai oisa. V'hevinoi midatoi li badal. And he understands I'm different. So far your shot is good, right? I'm seeing I'm different. I'm a different kind of a soul. I'm lamoid lifnei Hashem l'shar soy la'avdoi l'dasas Hashem. My work is to be Mesharis HaKadosh Baruch Hu like a Levi. My job is to do Avodas Hashem, L'dasas Hashem, to learn Torah. Says the Rambam, listen to this. V'halach Yashar. Listen to the Rambam. K'may sha'asehu ha'alekim. Are you as excited about this as me? Halach Yashar. K'may sha'asehu ha'alekim. Like Hashem originally created him. What does that have to do with this? The Rambam is telling you, the Arizal, that there is a Yashar in the beginning of the Bria, where Adam Ani Asisi is Adam Yashar. A person says, I want to be part of that Yashar, I want to be part of the Kava Yashar. How do I have the right K'moshai Seyu Elikim? Because isn't that the Hashem's original Kavanah? Hashem's original Kavanah was for me to be in Gan Eden. K'moshai Seyu Elikim. So beautiful. By the way, I looked at the verse of the Rambam. Nobody's open on this except for Rabbi Shavsai Frankel. So Shavsai Frankel writes on the side, he quotes on this Rambam, "B'halach Yashar k'moshe aseyu elikim Uparak me'al tzavar, even better, oil hacheshbonos harabim. Asher bikshu b'nei adam. Says the Frankel on the side, he's referring to the pasuk in Koheles, Ani asisias adam yashar v'hema bikshu cheshbonos rabim. So the Rambam, in his Rambam way, is telling you the whole Arizal in one sentence over here, that this person is saying, I want to be besake the chet of Adam Harishon. I want to go right back there, can't I? I want to be at the Kav HaYashar. I don't want to be in the Yigulim. I don't want to make the cheshbonos of the Yigulim. So Parak, me'al tzavarei oil ha-cheshbonos harabim. B'diyuk the pasuk. Ani asisias is the exact same pasuk that the Arizal quotes. Ani asisias adam yasher ve'ema bikshu cheshbonos rabim. To this guy we say, he wants to do the tikkun of the chet of Adam Harishon. To him we say, Harei zen niskadosh kodesh kodshim. So it's not just that he's not just that he's more l'shem shemayim than the first guy. We don't know. But the pshat is he has a different kavanah over here that he wants to go into the olam of tikkun. Remember I said to you yesterday or the day before that the pshat in Reb Shimon Bar Yochai is that when he was in the Ma'ara, he was in a matzav of yashar. He was in a matzav of death. He was buried in earth. He was and he was being mispartis for malachim. That was what the Gemara tells us was going on with Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. He had a carob tree there. You know, carob tree. I mean, even if you have a carob tree, I'll be asked, how do you live on a carob tree? That's something. Well, like it's a, you know, it's a hafladika thing. You know, like a lot of Bomer, at least when I was a kid, we used to eat carobs. And, you know, my mother used to save it from year to year. She said, it tastes exactly the same. Like this tells you about its taste, you know. But but that's what he lived on. So this was like Mamash and Ness. And Amos HaMayim came miraculous there. You can go to Pekiah now to the cave of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. You can see the exact cave, and you can see the tree that they say this is the oldest carob tree in Eretz Yisrael. That's a lot. You can see this carob tree that Reb Shimon Bar Yochai.
We know where that is?
I know exactly where it is. That's just about the only.
He was
Right?
buried where he stayed? Where he
No. Buried in Meron. Hello.
Where is this?
Well, where is this tree? Where is it?
Key in on top of the mountain. It's clear as the cave, the sand, the tree, the water. The whole thing is
still there.
And the Druzis are sitting there taking the water and saying that this is a tremendous blessing because there's a big tzaddik that drank from this water. So that's Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. What's the pshat of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai who was in a bechina of mace, and when he got up he was in a bechina of tchias hamesim. He was yashar. He was the one who made himself yashar. What is Rabbi Shmuel saying? No machlokes. That good, but Adam Harishon put himself into the Shaar HaYigulim.
This is where we are.
This is where we are. We're in the Shaar HaYigulim. So it's not really a machlokes between Rabbi Shmuel and Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. It's a shaila of where you're holding. So a person can be Niskadish Kodshei Kadoshim. Now, if your kavanah is anything different, if you have kavanah for kavod, if you just don't feel like working, if you want to be misparnish minat tzedakah, let somebody else do the work and support me, all that is a shegitz. But if a person has the kavanah, that's what he says, harei malasim esabriyas. He'll end up being malasim esabriyas. How many of these people end up in jail? Like the Gemara says, quoted a few days ago, Amar Meir. Right? Chayav Adam Lamed Panoi Uvanus. Vim Loi Lamed Panoi Uvanus, Harei Zem Elastim Esabrius. You're teaching your kid to be a crook. Now let's say you're teaching your kid like Reb Shimon Bar Yochai taught his kid, Rebbe Lazar Reb Shimon, to be Masakin the Chet of Adam Harishon. Okay, that's a whole different Megillah. So now you're saying Harezem and Kaddish Kodesh Kadoshim. Now you're a Kodesh Kadoshim, and now you can do it. Now, so says the Gemara on this that just be careful of one thing with this Yediyah that I'm telling you. So you see how the Rambam and the Arizal come perfectly together. Baruch Hashem. I hope it's emes. It's my own pshat in the Rambam, but it feels emes now. But says the Gemara on this. You got to watch it with this. You got to be very careful with this because Harbe Yasuk Reb Shimon Bar Yochai will also be on the Haraya. Reb Shimon Bar Yochai himself had a taina on the world. Like, what are you doing? And the Baskal get back into the cave. What are you talking about? This is for a yachid.
So Tzon Shamakim is Yashrus. That's what.
Yashar, but not Yashrus that I'm being Yashar with you, I'm being honest with you. I'm
Attaching
being
to
meta
it.
from the Kav HaYashar from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, which is totally miraculous.
That's what we're saying. Pshat is also Tzon Shamakim.
Right. So the Oisei Ritzaydai Shalmakim means the original Ritzaydai Shalmakim, not listening to the Nachash, listening to it's such a deep important thing. And on this, the Gemara says, Harbe Asuk Rav Shimon Bar Yochai V'lay also biyadam. Don't fool yourself to think you're Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. It's because it's not going to work. So time's up. But here we have the Pshat and the Rambam, and this will help us understand what Reb Chaim Volozhin is saying.
How long did Rashi live? Do we meet tomorrow?
20 years.
How did he live? Did he live in this Kavah
Miraculously. Miraculously. You live in the Kav HaYashar forever. Yeah.
We'll meet tomorrow also?
Yeah, so tomorrow, I said, by the way, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Where's your belly? Is he here? Sunday, it's really Sunday, Monday, to Tuesday. Yeah, tomorrow, and that's it. That's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then I'm gone.
How long?
Until I reach my goal.